Plus, you can enjoy free samples from their tasting bar. There's only one place to go for all your needs for spirits and cigars. That's Wall to Wall Wine and Spirits on North 27th Street in Lincoln.
Empire Netting and Fence delivers top-quality netting and fence solutions. From major sports venues to backyard installs and everything in between, coast to coast. We take on tough jobs with grit, integrity, and a strong commitment to safety. Empire is growing, and we're hiring motivated people ready to grow with us. We build each other up, and we're building something big. Think you've got what it takes? Apply now at empire-fence.com. That's empire-fence.com.
At Valentino's, we're on a mission for tradition. On every slice, for every bite. Golden baked crust, cooked to perfection every time. Savory sweet sauce that's made from our own secret recipe. Loaded with the perfect amount of fresh toppings and melty mozzarella cheese. It's the tradition that Nebraskans have come to love. From game day to every day. Valentino's. Taste the tradition.
Mike, I've been thinking, our house could really use a makeover. How about new siding?
I've been thinking the same thing. Have you heard of James Hardy?
Yes! Sarah down the street had Roofing Service Company install James Hardy siding on their home, and they love it.
Roofing Service Company does have great reviews.
They took her through the design process and made everything super easy.
Roofing Service Company offers expert design and installation. Couple that with James Hardy's durable products and variety of colors, you and your family will love your exterior remodel. Just visit roofingservicecompany.com. That's roofingservicecompany.com.
Imagine starting your day with a computer glitch that leaves you feeling stuck, frustrated, and unable to get your work done. You have 1,000,001 things to get done today, and waiting for the tech issue to solve itself isn't one of them. It's time to let Hamilton handle the tech so you don't have to. We help businesses across the state spend more time on what they do best and less time frustrated with office technology. As the official business IT partner of the Huskers, we're focused on providing custom solutions that set you up for success now and in the future. Connect with us today at hamiltonisbusiness.com.
Play ball! Pitch the perfect idea for a family outing or date night with tickets to the next Salt Dogs game. Nothing says summer fun like an action-packed evening at Haymarket Park. Come root for the home team with a hot dog and a cold drink. Plus, visit saltdogs.com to learn about special events and promotions, including group discounts. Don't miss out on the thrill and excitement of a Salt Dogs win. Visit saltdogs.com to reserve your tickets today.
Start your Sundays off right with Jeff and Nicole Essink on Fitness Fanatics. Jeff and Nicole discuss health and wellness, how to achieve fitness goals, and more through the life of gym owners and gym goers. It's Fitness Fanatics from 9 to 11 a.m. on Sundays on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket. It's time to go one-on-one with DP. Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Here is your host, Derek Pearson, brought to you by Canopy Street Market.
Boom. It's a Wednesday boom. It's a Wednesday boom. In your face. In your face. In your face, I say. Thank you for hanging out. Next 2 hours. One-on-one. That is Living Color. Cult personality. Corey with the riffs. Get him. Get him. The Starter Hammond text line 402-464-5685. If you have not listened to Living Color, look at Marcy Haas coming through with the come through. Marcy Haas coming through with the come through. That is epic. That is epic. I'm going to wave her in here because I want to share some of her goodness. Come on in here. Come on, you better come on in here. You better come on in here. We're going to give you that microphone right there. Yeah, we need everybody that does not know Marcy need to know Marcy. Everybody needs to sweet things by Marcy Haas. Marcy, how are you this morning?
I am uncaffeinated, so
we're going to take care of that. We can take That we can take care
I'm
of.
trying to follow the doctor's orders. This is day 2. It's not going so well.
What do you substitute?
Decaf, and it's not good.
Okay, so Luke can hook you up and make it tasty, not sugary, but tasty.
I like sugary too.
Yeah, I understand the conversations we have with doctors that tell us the decaf and all those things. So I get the headaches and I have to pay attention. But Luke will hook you up.
Okay.
So he will take care of you. What goodies can folks find at Sweet Things by Marcy? And then what are you offering today in your daily witchcraft that you use to create magic and everything good?
So I have chicken salad sandwiches on croissant, tuna salad, turkey and Swiss, ham and cheddar, beef and cheddar. I also have the Southern Fare snack packs, which are pimento cheese, grape salad, and pasta salad, or you can get it with chicken salad, grape salad, and pasta salad. And those little containers that they come in are reusable, so it's a nice, refreshing snack. Nothing too heavy. It comes with crackers, and you can just take it out into the garden and eat, or you can stop by my stand and grab something and go back to your office.
Where can folks find you?
1413 N Street. That's N as in November. I'm south of the Bennett Martin Library, right in front of the Barbara Bartle Garden at Lincoln Community Foundation.
And it's all reasonably priced. As a matter of fact, exceptionally priced. And I can tell you, I can vouch for you on the containers because my kitchen is, you have done our thing. I need to share something with folks because Becky and I were talking about trying to consolidate our meals and trying to figure out how to eat right. But then we thought, well, we need somebody to do this for us because we don't have time. So she's traveling. She's away this week. And in her way, she's like, who can we think of? And I went, Marcy. Marcy could probably. So is that a thing that you're comfortable doing? Have you done that in the past for people, just where you come in, create the meals for them, put them in the fridge and get out?
I've done that in the past.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I've done that for people. I mean, I used to do it for my mom. I did it for my dad. That's been years ago, and I did it for a couple of friends of mine. So,
for you moms and dads out there, that you call Marcy and you say, "Hey, listen, this week I just don't want to look. I don't want my wife to cook this week, right? I don't want her to have to make lunch for the kids. I don't want Marcy could give you a week's worth of sandwiches." Weeks worth of and the grape salads are exceptional, are just going to be in full. And the catering events that you have, and you have friends over along the way. And without any doubt or contesting, she makes the best desserts in all of Nebraska. So I'm just going to say, from the dessert standpoint, if fellas, you want wifey to be happy tonight, Bach, pay attention. Marcy, what could you offer them if they stop by and see you today with cakes and pies?
okay. So I don't have any pies today,
Okay.
but I do have in my case lemon blueberry cake, and Kentucky butter cake, and that's my signature Kentucky butter cake.
So good.
Yeah. So I also offered at a couple of local restaurants in town. So shout out to Lila Mays and Canyon Joe's Barbecue. Actually, I just delivered some desserts to Canyon Joe's this morning. So yeah.
And the best banana pudding in Nebraska.
Yes, absolutely. If you want Southern banana pudding, yeah.
Yeah. Listen, I'm just here for you. Y'all, I'm just telling you, if you want a happy house today or tomorrow, reach out to Marcy. You can find her. Let them know how they can find you on social media.
On social media, look up Sweet Things by Marcy. And that's Marcy is spelled Marcy. So it's Sweet Things by Marcy. I'm on Facebook and Instagram. So if you want to follow me or tag me in any of your posts, I'm also on Threads and TikTok. I haven't posted there in a while, but I'm on TikTok.
Marcy, thank you constantly for you.
Oh, you're welcome.
Greatly appreciate you doing that.
Thank you so much.
And I'll reach out later today.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah. Y'all need to. I'm just telling you, if you want a happy household, contact Marcy. Let her hook you up because she came through. We got cupcakes today, several different kinds. My spider sensors are alive and well. We greatly appreciate it. Bach, if you would please let them know who makes this happen each day at 11 o'clock.
Yeah, hour one of the show today is sponsored by Hamilton Telecommunications, bringing you the latest quality technology and communication services since 1901. Whether it's residential or business, Hamilton has the answers. Visit hamiltontel.com for more info today.
It is simple. You can follow on all the live video streams, Facebook, YouTube, X, Allo Channel 961. Bach, do you know what time the Royals play today? What time the Royals play?
I can look it up. Sorry, Royals fans. Red Sox have been ruining your days the last couple days, but I'll just throw that out there when I can.
You got to get the dig in.
That's
you
right.
You got to get the dig in.
One of the hottest teams in baseball, the Red Sox, don't feel too bad.
Hey, man.
They play at 6:10 tonight.
Okay, so all the shows today will be available on the brick and mortar, the terrestrial, and the streams. You know how to find them as well. Y'all know I keep track of my days on purpose. And today is 23,020. I love when the numbers roll up on me. 23,000. So 23020. This is the number of days. That means that this is the only 2320 I get. And it's special. So when y'all decide to spend time with me on these days, it matters. And I have to say so. This is the only 2320 I get. And whatever your number is, I hope it's as good as you absolutely want for it to be. It's also, I've been alive for 756 months. 700, that doesn't seem like a lot. It doesn't seem like a lot. And that is a lot. But to say that August of 2025, I want it to be unique and special. And there's some really cool things happening in August, and I'm looking forward to it. There's some more work in the TED world, some more world in the book world, in the speakers world, and then of course in the broadcast world. There's a lot of stuff going on as well. So greatly appreciate you hanging out with us. Bach, there's several things in the news that if you're paying attention to ESPN and them collecting assets, and making a point, they reached a landmark. Like even today, a rights agreement. ESPN platforms become the exclusive U.S. domestic home for all WWE premium live events, including WrestleMania, starting in 2026. That is also direct to customer content as far as college football, college athletics. There's a lot of things. Anthony Smith will show up here. I'm pretty sure that ESPN and UFC will have some different announcements and things to consider along the way. And it's important. Bach, they said the big selling point was, Netflix, WWE moving to Netflix at $9.99 a month, right? Which was the thing, right? That they started, hey, you'll get all the content for $9.99 a month. Well, that number's closer to $29.99 a month. Bach, is that too much for all of the ESPN content? And that's all of the ESPN content.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's what WWE fans have to consider here if they're kind of thinking about that is because I know there's going to be frustration. You're going to be paying more. I'll be honest, WWE is kind of spreading you thin here on a lot of different, because now you need cable to see SmackDown on USA Network. You need Netflix to see Raw on Monday Night Raw. You need Peacock to see their premium live events. And now we're going to move that over now to the ESPN starting next year. So it's interesting. I don't know. I mean, I think it's it's altogether fascinating if you just kind of look at it from that point of view too, is because when I was a kid, and for the longest time, obviously they had these $60 pay-per-views that you'd have to buy. And so it kind of priced me out. As a kid, my family wasn't too into wrestling, so I didn't get to watch those. And so it kind of made that, maybe more spectacular than the TV product and all that. And then so what kind of helped bring me back in was, hey, now I can watch premium live events for $10 a month with the WWE Network, which they had before. And so it made me feel like, hey, maybe I'm getting now what I missed in my childhood to see, their biggest events. So I don't know if $30, up from the 10 that you pay now, or whatever it is for Peacock that you pay now, single-handedly would price some people out. But when you throw in, if you're going to try to keep up with the product altogether, you also need Netflix, you also need cable. I do think it is going to price some people out.
Here's what's funny. You get more WWE content now than ever before. You get more behind the scenes. You get more access to the characters and to the people. You get more access to the way it's set up. You get more access in the building. You get higher levels of Wi-Fi connection and connectivity in the buildings that you're in. Do we forget that we get other stuff? Like, this is a part you know more about it. You get more about it. The same thing falls in line for Big Ten, the Big Ten Network. How many of our listeners, and text line, you can let us know, how many of you pay for access to Big Ten and Huskers content? Right? Because Big Ten Plus carries some events that no isn't available anywhere else. Sometimes the Big Ten Network will partner with networks to carry specific events. And at this point, none of it's free, right? Like, that is fair. What's the number? What are you willing to spend for Husker content a month? Is 20, like, if there was a one place, one spot fills everything, whatever that number would be, right? If there was a Husker network that allowed you to, because the Husker network doesn't delve into that. They can't do the content. They can do radio broadcasts, but actually watching it, the streaming, the video streaming, is that a problem? Because we see that, and I guess we need to look at the Husker schedule to see what networks all the games are going to be on, right? If ESPN is not included in your local television, then you're paying for it. Then you're paying for it. What are you willing to pay if you're a Husker fan? What's the standard? Bach, what do you say? What are you willing to spend a year for access to Husker football?
For me, I mean, whatever it takes. I mean, if there's a Husker football game on and I can't watch it, I will be losing my mind. I'll be like, this is something's missing in my life. This is what I do. So yeah, I mean, I think it's interesting. I think that would be the case for me. But for, like I said, for a lot of different people, you have to budget these sort of things. It's not just sometimes what you want to, it's what you need to spend. So, you know, you got to be careful about pricing people out on that stuff. And altogether, I think it's just an interesting dynamic to change from, like you said, there's so much content out there and it's from all these different places. You can pick and choose. You could pay it all and watch it all, but it's just so fascinating too. I don't know, like, the other thing is like cable television, as we're seeing, you know, late night shows get canceled and stuff. There's very few live events that maybe need to be made for cable TV, because now we're seeing Netflix, you know, kind of taking on some of that. And so you wonder, we talked about cutting the cord for years. I keep it for live events. I keep it for football. I keep it for, you know, basketball and wrestling and those sort of things. But I wonder how many people, especially with, you know, your options of Peacock and Netflix and Amazon Prime and everything that's out there, you know, how much value how much longer can cable TV keep up its value and continue to charge the same price that they have historically?
Well, I mean, think about it this way. So let's go through the schedule. That, of course, the 28th in Cincinnati, ESPN, right? And most cable packages, people, if you tell me that you're going cable-less, that includes ESPN. That includes ESPN. And you can listen to the terrestrial Husker call on the radio, and that's what people did for generations, mind you. Right? Back in the 70s, we're not talking about every game being available. You literally there was a way that you had to, you know, you listened. That's why the radio calls and the radio voice is so iconic, is that it's a big part of it. But ESPN is not free. It's not. Week 2, Akron. It's the Big Ten Network. Paid content. Paid content. Now you can generally get Big Ten and ESPN in the same packages, which is what kind of the move. The same can be said for Houston Christian, where it's Fox Sports 1. Right? Not Fox Sports, Fox Sports 1. Another paid content channel. Right? Cable. You got to go get it. Then you get to CBS for Michigan. That'll be the national TV game. And yeah, that's a thing. But the rest of the schedule, it has not been assigned for Michigan State, right? We don't know yet. Maryland has not been designated. Minnesota, Friday night, not been designated. Well, it has been. It's Fox. Northwestern, October 25th, has not been designated. Saturday, November 1st, USC has not been designated. UCLA, Penn State have not been designated. Iowa, Black Friday will be CBS. So there's a plan, and there are channels and partners in play, but those are business partners. With the Big Ten, not so much University of Nebraska. Nebraska is a partner member of the Big Ten, goes along with what the Big Ten decides is the right vehicle for their program. And sometimes it depends on how Nebraska's doing. Right? That Penn State, probably you can lock in and schedule that'll be a game of meaning. If the season goes anything like we hope it does, right? We don't know what it's going to be, but we hope. USC, again, these are the to be announced time frames, right? That broadcast and the broadcast partners have so much to do with this thing that we haven't even determined what time the games were. Now, I can tell you, back in the day, you knew when the schedule came out, you knew what time the games were. You knew what time the games were. You could actually make a plan. But if you're talking about coming to see USC or going to UCLA in Los Angeles, your travel plans are up in the air because you don't know what time the game is. Like if it's an early game in Los Angeles, right? Remember the time difference, but an early game makes it difficult. So pretty much if you're going to the UCLA game, you pretty much expect to get there by early Saturday morning, maybe late Friday night, and stay until Sunday morning. If you're going to go to Penn State, not easy to get in, not easy to get out of. I would say that we hope that's not a noon game, right?
Unless it's big noon.
Right? Well, but do you want that?
I'll take anything with a 3-letter network next to it to get more exposure for Nebraska.
Right. So to do that, but then you're going to get there Friday. You got to go Friday. Okay. Some people have jobs. They got things they got to do, right? And then you have to make plans accordingly. And then you're not getting out of Happy Valley. You're not getting out of University Park, Pennsylvania easily. So you're there until Sunday morning. That's part of the deal. You go to Minnesota on a Friday. As AD said earlier, you could plan that you could fly in Friday afternoon to Minneapolis, right? There's enough flights to get you into Minneapolis, but it's still, do you trust the system? Are you going to let the airline determine whether you get to see the Huskers in Minneapolis that Friday night? And then you're certainly not flying out Friday night. You're there overnight. You're going to fly out Saturday, maybe Saturday morning. If you're going to College Park, Maryland, you're going to DC or Baltimore, right? We don't know what time it is. If you fly into DC, there's traffic between DC and College Park. Same for Baltimore. What time are you going in? Well, we don't know because we don't know what time the game is. So the broadcast relationship matters, but it's making it more difficult. And it's much part of the fan experience now is trying to figure out how crazy this thing is. Dave Braska says he's going to Cincy in Maryland. He says, so it doesn't matter what channels the games are on. But do we know what percentage of Husker fans go to road games? Is there a number? Have they calculated that?
I don't know, especially percentage-wise, but I think they would be able to nail down the
number of tickets
people,
sold right last year for away games.
Yeah.
I would be interested and curious to know. And from the text line, you can tell me whether you went to an away game, a Nebraska football away game last year. And if you went to an away game last year, Iowa proximity matters, I guess. So if you went to games not Iowa, where did you go? I mean, that's a thing. But did you go to any away games last year?
Not last year. I went to the Minnesota game the year before. There's a healthy amount. I remember USC that is specifically the Omaha World Herald estimated around 15,000 fans. You could see at the Coliseum, Nebraska fans maybe more interested than USC fans because there wasn't as many USC fans at the building. That was not a full crowd.
That's a tough. I mean, I hope folks recognize that is not a fandom thing. That is a market and environment thing. You're in Hollywood, for crying out loud. There's a lot of stuff going on.
Well, it's partially a fandom thing.
No.
If
No,
yeah,
nope.
Don't give them that. Don't
Nope,
give them that.
nope.
There's a reason why selling out stadiums and that sort of thing. We take pride in that.
No, but because then you're playing into, well, what else is there to do in Lincoln, Nebraska on a football Saturday?
Well, there's plenty of things to do in Los Angeles. I went there as a Nebraska college football fan and went to a spring game over a Dodgers game. Why? Because I love college football.
You're actually making my point. That there are Hollywood movie premieres, there's the beach, there's restaurants, there's concerts, big, huge concerts. Matter of fact, if you go to LA, there are 5 major concerts on any given Saturday. So there are more choices for your money.
3.9 million people in Los Angeles.
There's more for your money. And there are people that will tell you, if you've been to both, right? If you went to USC versus UCLA when both teams are good, different deal.
Absolutely, same thing with Miami. I mean, there are big major cities have that different things to distract you, but that's a part of, again, that's part of why I take pride in Nebraska. It's not Miami and USC crowds dependent on whether their team's good, what the matchup is, and Nebraska, it doesn't matter.
Why doesn't it matter, Bob?
Because people want to support the Nebraska football team.
That's not really.
I don't know what you're arguing.
Are these the same? Is this the same fan base you're telling me that literally debates one another over whether the sellout streak is valid or not?
Whether it's valid or not, I mean, they can, but there's either 80,000 or 78,800 people in there. I mean, it's the same amount, whether there's a few hundred open seats or not.
So it does matter. It does matter that the culture is built around going to football games.
I would say that matters. Yeah, quite a bit.
Okay. You want to compare that to Tennessee?
Tennessee's got a great, yeah.
You want to compare that? You want to compare that to Ohio State, Michigan?
Sure. Those are teams that I would be much more happy to compare than to USC or Miami, who have half-empty stadiums half the time, whether they have beaches or not.
Have you've been to Miami games when they were good?
I'm not talking about when they're good.
Oh, okay. Okay. What was the last Miami game you went to?
I've not been to a Miami game.
Okay. See,
I can watch from the TV and see more than half-empty stadiums.
I'm going to say, having been to those weeks, I speak from what I know, from what I've experienced.
I know what I know. I can see it on TV.
But you haven't. Seeing it on TV is not the same. You can't.
Seeing a half-empty stadium lets me know it's a half-empty stadium.
What's going on outside the stadium? What's going on in South Beach?
What's
going on campus?
What is your ultimate argument, I guess, on this?
My statement is this. You can say that, as I said yesterday, that Nebraska football and its place with its fans is elite level. But that doesn't dictate whether Nebraska fans are comfortable spending extra money, especially today, spending extra money to stream content. It was set up here with the sellout streak. That was why. Because it's the only way you could consume the game was to get a ticket and go to the game. Then that's what was done. It's not that way anymore. Husker fans have other options. They have other options. And you just said, sometimes you can price out your fan base. And at what point, what I was originally asking was, at what point, at what level, at what number, at what amount does Nebraska risk pricing out its fan base for streaming of games? There is an expectation of availability. Fair?
Yeah.
And that in this market, their pricing matters, right? We literally spent a month talking about the $20 practice fee, right? Wasn't that what we were talking about?
Yeah.
That we have priced out at $20 an opportunity to watch, support, and be the fanatical Nebraska football fans that you're speaking of. But only 3,000 or so found it worthy of paying $20 to support at the level you just said is implied and assumed. It's not. It's not. They literally just proved the point that you gave Husker Nation an opportunity to support Nebraska football, whether it be through 1890 and NIL, by coming to a football practice, that number was much lower than, for me, the number should be. For a fan base that loves, lives, and breathes Husker football. Is that not fair?
I would look at promotion and different things. I mean, you're talking about an open practice. I don't know how much better that would go across the country. But obviously it could be better if I think it was promoted or kind of maybe paired with something
I'm not
else.
going to disagree with that either.
Yeah.
I'm not disagreeing with that either. I just think it is a textured, layered conversation. And it's easy to simply say, well, the fandom at Nebraska is all of this and all of that. But the reality is, my last example was Saturday at Memorial Stadium. And that $20, an additional $20, was the difference between the fan base showing or not showing up. Fair?
Potentially. I don't know how many people want to watch you got to really get into the football fanatics to watch especially for Lincolnites to travel to watch a practice specifically. Now, if you haven't done it before, then maybe.
Well, but if the fandom is what you say it is, it shouldn't be an issue. You get 8 games during the season that you can go to at the highest dollar value there. But for people who cannot afford the $20 a pop per person, that you have literally priced out Husker fans. That means there were 87,000 missing fans because of $20 or simply lack of interest. Fair?
Fair.
Okay. That's where we land. We'll throw the break when we come back, hopefully, and Anthony Lionel Smith is in the building. If not, Bach and I will continue to bang our heads against the wall. And Bach and I know, I guess I want folks to know, Bach and I have these conversations and they're never personal. I just try to get to what layer of this thing are we talking about? What layer? I love Husker fans. That I've stated that. I just think the promotion of it and the marketing of it matters. And there is a number. And as ESPN covets and carries more of the content, if ESPN does, Fox is right behind it. And it's the next thing coming. So have a plan. We'll be right back.
Download our app by searching 93.7 The Ticket in your app store. You're listening to One-on-One with DP on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Infrastructure, a veteran-owned local company proudly serving Lincoln, Lancaster County, and the surrounding areas. Bauer provides quality work at an affordable price, and they're growing rapidly. If you want to experience a career with a fast-paced, family-friendly environment, visit BauerInfrastructure.com. They have top-of-the-line benefits, year-round work, even through the winter. Bauer, usher in the new era of infrastructure to an area near you. And as always, go Big Red!
Big news, Nebraska. Love Omaha is now Love Nebraska. This is more than just a new name. It's a tribute to what Nebraska represents in the world of volleyball. It's still the same team with the same mission, led by players you know and love. Now backed by a new ownership group led by Jordan Larson. As Love Nebraska, they're entering an exciting new chapter, pushing for a championship title in 2026 and building new opportunities for the next generation of players across the state. They want you with them. Let's show the world how Nebraska plays volleyball. Join the movement at LOVBNEB.com and sign up to become a Love Nebraska Insider today.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait. Apply now.
Nebraska football opens their season on Thursday, August 28th in Kansas City, and you can be a part of the best pregame tailgate party with Blur Events, live from Kauffman Stadium, home of the Royals. Doors open 4 hours before kickoff with a live DJ promoting interactive competitions and giveaways, tailgate games like cornhole, flip cup, and beer pong, access to ballpark concessions, and available air conditioning. Book your tickets today at blurevents.com/Kansas City and hang with 93.7 The Ticket on the scene prior to Nebraska versus Cincinnati on August 28th. Rosie's Sports Bar and Grill, open for lunch and dinner at 1501 Center Park Road, just south of 14th and Highway 2.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Koppel Chevrolet GMC. This month kicks off Koppel's 50th anniversary sale. We're celebrating 50 years by offering an additional $500 discount to the next 100 customers that buy a new vehicle. This is in addition to the huge savings already in place. You can take an extra $500 off our discounted price, or we can cut you a check on the spot. Celebrate with savings and see why customers have trusted Koppel since 1975. It's our way of saying thank you for all these years.
When only the best will do. Sartor Heyman Jewelers.
Rick Heyman here from Sartor Heyman Jewelers. I want to personally thank our great customers for voting us once again the best of Lincoln. At the same time, we're celebrating our 120th year in business in the great state of Nebraska. Visit us at South Point, Grand Island, and the Outlet in downtown Lincoln. Visit us today at sartorheyman.com.
Sartor Heyman Jewelers.
A lot of businesses say they're family focused, but when tough situations in life arise, the business wants anything but your best interests. James Enterprise Incorporated is hiring, and they will always treat their employees like family, just as they do their customers. James Enterprise Incorporated is hiring Class A and B CDL drivers, a shop tech, and a diesel mechanic. If you're looking for a career with a company that goes above and beyond to value you and your family, apply today at jamesenterpriseinc.com or call 402-432-6740. Saturday. Eagle Raceway is open for a full season of dirt track racing action every Saturday night. Don't miss the epic battles on the high banks of Eagle Raceway each Saturday between the Nebraska Septic Sprint Cars, Nebraska Lottery Modifieds, Avid Realty Sport Mods, Valentino's Hobby Stocks, and A1 Iron Stock Cars. Let's go racing. Eagle Raceway, just 10 miles east of Lincoln on O Street. Check out the full schedule at eagleraceway.com.
Empire Netting and Fence delivers top quality netting and fence solutions. From major sports venues to backyard installs and everything in between, coast to coast. We take on tough jobs with grit, integrity, and a strong commitment to safety. Empire is growing, and we're hiring motivated people ready to grow with us. We build each other up, and we're building something big. Think you've got what it takes? Apply now at empire-fence.com. That's empire-fence.com.
You're listening to One-on-One with DP, brought to you by Canopy Street Market on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back. The text line says Husker fans will spend endless money on things they find to be important. However, things they do not find to be important, they won't spend a dime on. Is Nebraska football important? Is it important enough for Husker fans to show up at Memorial Stadium on a Saturday to watch a practice and support 1890, which is the collective that allows them to recruit football players and sign football players for Nebraska football fans? Like, it was a full statement out loud to support 1890. Right, and to support the an opportunity for the fans to get in front of the players, to actually meet the players. Right, it was kind of sold as meet the 2025 Husker football team. And if it was important, you can't tell me that. I said this last week, and somebody sent me an email saying that they thought it was a valid thing to say. I have difficulty with any Husker athletic event only drawing 3,000 people, no matter what you charge for it. Now, the number was $20, And if you said to me, how many people, if Nebraska basketball was playing Joe Meatball State basketball in a basketball game at Pinnacle Bank Arena, and every seat was $20, at no point would I expect that number be, 2,500, 3,000 people. Especially if it's football. Because if you tell me that high 80,000 show up at Memorial Stadium and pay whatever they're paying for season ticket prices, et cetera, that's important, right? That is a level, that is a statement of importance. If you tell me that the best softball player in the country is playing down the road at Haymarket Park, and she's a Husker, that 3,000 people will pay $20 to go support her and them. That number should be what that number should be. Right? That hopefully you've recruited enough and developed enough that Husker baseball and Husker basketball and Husker wrestling would draw 3,000 people who are willing to pay $20 a piece, especially Nebraska football. That's all. And it doesn't, you can go through every program in the place. Every program in the country has its own level of fandom. We also know that downtown Lincoln is not downtown South Beach, downtown Los Angeles, downtown Atlanta, downtown DC. Like, no. The social life is different. The attention, the demand for attention is higher. There are more events going on, more fundraisers, political events, etc., Hollywood events, all those things. So it's there. D-Train said this, and I think this is kind of my point. D-Train says, I will be honest, I didn't even know it was happening. After I seen it on social media, I told the wife I wish we had known. Get the word out better. All of that, right? Because if we say out loud that the Nebraska football program is the mothership and hub for all athletics in the state of Nebraska, including Creighton, right? That Nebraska football is the thing. It's not the straw that stirs the drink. It's the drink. It's the drink that pays for all the other sports. It's the drink that feeds the fan base, the culture of the state, and its image outside of the state. Nebraska football, top of the list. Top of the list. And to tell me it's that important, but it wasn't marketed, then it wasn't that important. Your actions speak. Your words speak. Like, listen, we got the news feed yesterday. You know what? They're cutting programs right now at the University of Nebraska. We got that message. We get all the agricultural messages. We get all the farming messages. We get those. Right? People will consume. But if you tell me that the thing that drives the state is Nebraska football, then how does this fanatical fan base just say what D-Train just said and what Adam just said? How do you say it's the most important? Listen, we're fanatics. We are the best fan base in all of college football. But we didn't know that they were having a practice that we can go and watch. You are both true? Or should one override the other? That's all Hiselbell says this. It wasn't marketed to be that big. I bet 95% of the fans didn't even know what happened. Again, making my point. If you tell me that it is the thing in the program that matters the most, that people are going to know about it. How does that happen? If it wasn't marketed to be big, well, it doesn't say go meh red. It's go big red. Go big in everything. Husker power isn't Husker meh power. It's Husker power. Say it with your chest. Say it out loud. You can't tell me it's important for eight Saturdays in the fall or 12 Saturdays in the fall and tell me it's not important the rest of the year. The same people, and that's how it's built. Your fan base, your reputation, your brand is built by the accumulation of your actions and your words. That's where you stand. That's where you stand. I had credentials to it. I went and bought a ticket to support the program. I bought a ticket just to support. Listen, I have credentials to Nebraska's Fan Fest for volleyball. How many of the listeners are going to be at Nebraska Volleyball Fan Fest? Tell me. You can tell me on the text line if you have your ticket already to Fan Fest. You can say who you want people to think you are, but your actions will tell the truth.
But you can't replicate. Yeah, I mean, they sold out a stadium for volleyball.
And I asked a question: how many people are going to Fan Fest?
Well, that's a different thing. You can't replicate a game, and I mean that was an exhibition, which makes it all the more important. But it's still an exhibition. The game. Husker fans will show up for the spring game. That's an exhibition. But once you start to break it down and into okay, it's going to be. That's like I say, you can't replicate stakes. If that's why people want to watch a game, they want something on the line.
For decades, the spring game drew crowds. Right.
Right.
What would you say was the expected number all the way up until Scott Frost year 2? 70,000, 60,000? What are we talking about?
I mean, it probably ranged somewhere from 40 to 60,000.
Okay, so 40,000 is the standard. The minimum? Are they currently getting 40,000 for a spring game?
Well, last year, I mean, I think if they would have held a spring game, they would have. I'm just asking.
And
I think next year, I mean, they've got to go back to the spring game format because they kind of put the game in there, but it was more, okay, we're going to do these Husker games. You got to reverse that, put the game first, and then do the Husker games, even if it's not going to be too many of your players playing in it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think all of it. And again, I don't have to have the answer. I'm just trying to get to the right question. That at some point, and again, remember why we were talking about it, is at some point, can you or will you price out Husker fans from access to the things that they care the most about, with Husker football being at the top of the list? And if you tell me that the number that will price people out to access for Husker, to get autographs, to buy Husker stuff, to be around Husker fans, if you tell me that it's $20, okay, tell me that. I'd like to know. I want to know how many people have their tickets to Volleyball Fan Fest, right? Because those are Huskers. That's a Husker program that might be favored not only to win the Big Ten Conference, but to win a national title this year. It is a blue blood elite. It is currently an elite program in sports. If you talk volleyball, college volleyball, Nebraska is one of the first 3 names that come up. That's how important it is. So tell me, are you going or not? We'll go to break. We'll come back. More one-on-one.
Watch live on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. You're listening to One-on-One with DP on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Imagine starting your day with a computer glitch that leaves you feeling stuck, frustrated, and unable to get your work done. You have 1,000,001 things to get done today, and waiting for the tech issue to solve itself isn't one of them. It's time to let Hamilton handle the tech so you don't have to. We help businesses across the state spend more time on what they do best and less time frustrated with office technology. As the official business IT partner of the Huskers, we're focused on providing custom solutions that set you up for success now and in the future. Connect with us today at hamiltonisbusiness.com.
Saturday. Eagle Raceway is open for a full season of dirt track racing action every Saturday night. Don't miss the epic battles on the high banks of Eagle Raceway each Saturday between the Nebraska Septic Sprint Cars, Nebraska Lottery Modifieds, Avid Realty Sport Mods, Valentino's Hobby Stocks, and A1 Iron Stock Cars. Let's go racing. Eagle Raceway, just 10 miles east of Lincoln on O Street. Check out the full schedule at eagleraceway.com.
There's a lot on the line in divorce. This is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell, the largest family law firm in the country, with over 35 years of helping clients navigate divorce. But being big doesn't mean less personal or less local. Our attorneys live and work in your community, and as neighbors, they understand the challenges your families face. Divorce is complicated. It affects every part of your life, your home, savings, retirement, and of course, kids. So when you find yourself facing divorce and the unexpected directions that it can take, it's times like this that you need a partner you can count on.
If you're a man facing divorce, contact Cordell & Cordell today to connect with a local divorce attorney who understands the challenges you're facing on a personal level. Text GO99 to 323232. GO99 to 323232. GO99 to 323232. 1221 N Street, Lincoln. Texting privacy policy and terms and conditions posted at textingterms.us. Texting enrolls you for recurring automated text marketing messages. Message and data rates may apply. Reply, stop to opt out.
Mike, I've been thinking our house could really use a makeover. How about new siding?
I've been thinking the same thing. Have you heard of James Hardy?
Yes! Sarah down the street had Roofing Service Company install James Hardy siding on their home, and they love it.
Roofing Service Company does have great reviews.
They took her through the design process and made everything super easy.
Roofing Service Company offers expert design and installation. Couple that with James Hardy's durable products and variety of colors, you and your family will love your exterior remodel. Just visit roofingservicecompany.com. That's roofingservicecompany.com.
A lot of businesses say they're family focused, but when tough situations in life arise, the business wants anything but your best interests. James Enterprise Incorporated is hiring, and they will always treat their employees like family, just as they do their customers. James Enterprise Incorporated is hiring Class A and B CDL drivers, a shop tech, and a diesel mechanic. If you're looking for a career with a company that goes above and beyond to value you and your family, apply today at jamesenterpriseinc.com or call 402-432-6740.
At Valentino's, we're on a mission for tradition. On every slice, for every bite. Golden baked crust, cooked to perfection every time. Savory sweet sauce that's made from our own secret recipe. Loaded with the perfect amount of fresh toppings and melty mozzarella cheese. It's the tradition that Nebraskans have come to love. From game day to every day. Valentino's. Taste the tradition.
There are great Mexican restaurants all over town, but there is one that is especially worth the drive from any part of town. Tacos Los Hermanos at 70th and Havelock. Cool off this summer with a delicious horchata or other special drinks, and grab one of their famous taco boxes for a group of friends or coworkers to enjoy, full of birria tacos and many other options. Don't forget their great desserts like tres leches, flan, and cheesecake. Get to Tacos Los Hermanos for lunch or dinner today at 70th and Havelock in Lincoln.
If the power is out, keep your fridge and freezer closed. Perishable food lasts 4 hours in the fridge, and frozen food lasts up to 2 days if it stays below 40 degrees. See more tips at les.com/safety.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Copple Chevrolet GMC. This month kicks off Copple's 50th anniversary sale. We're celebrating 50 years by offering an additional $500 discount to the next 100 customers that buy a new vehicle. This is in addition to the huge savings already in place. You can take an extra $500 off our discounted price, or we can cut you a check on the spot. Celebrate with savings and see why customers have trusted Copple since 1975. It's our way of saying thank you for all these years.
Nebraska football opens their season on Thursday, August 28th in Kansas City, and you can be a part of the best pregame tailgate party with Blur Events, live from Kauffman Stadium, home of the Royals. Doors open 4 hours before kickoff with a live DJ promoting interactive competitions and giveaways, tailgate games like cornhole, flip cup, and beer pong, access to ballpark concessions, and available air conditioning. Book your tickets today at blurevents.com/Kansas City and hang with 93.7 The Ticket on the scene prior to Nebraska versus Cincinnati on August 28th.
Looking to upgrade your hay equipment this season? Landmark Implement has a lineup of pre-owned balers and windrowers ready to go to work. In the race against time, make sure your hay equipment is up to the task. When you buy used hay equipment from Landmark, you're backed by our extensive parts and service network, complete with mobile techs and parts drop-off points to keep you in the field. Shop all used hay equipment online at landmarkimp.com or stop by your local Landmark to experience the Landmark difference.
Are you looking to upgrade or improve the garage door on your home? This is Cameron Hall of Doors Plus. At Doors Plus, we guarantee to offer a wide selection of options from 5 leading garage door manufacturers as we deliver a free estimate, exact measurements, and rapid installation with a 3 to 5 week time frame. When you choose Doors Plus for your residential garage door needs, you'll work with our experienced technicians and be ensured that your new door seamlessly complements your home. Give us a call at 402-590-5800 or visit us online at DoorsPlusLLC.com. Doors Plus, garage doors, and more.
You're listening to One on One with DP, brought to you by Canopy Street Market on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back. Short segment here. Just going to reset it for 12 o'clock. Hizbo says the fan day is sold out, so you couldn't go even if you wanted to. I just think Husker fans should be Husker fans all the time. I know that football is the drink. I get it, but no. Texter says having a 10+ win season will solve a lot of things, and I 100% agree. Bill and Bennett says, do you think that the guys? Do you think the single digit numbered players will get the same hype as they did last year? Depends on who the players are. And it's the same story for black shirts. Those announcements are really all the things y'all have been talking about the marketing. Black shirt tradition handled properly is good business. Mishandled, bad business. Same thing for single digits. You can't say the single digits matter for the team if, hey man, offensive linemen can't wear them, so your leadership is boundaried by a rule, a self-inflicted rule. Black shirt is defensive. Got it. What are you doing in the offseason to highlight the most important group on your team? This team will do as well. They will win as many games as their big guys up front offensively do. That production, that's the thing. And if you tell me that black shirts, not included, single digits, not included, what are you doing for your big guys? The pipeline was real. It was real, and it mattered. What are you doing? So, Husker fans, be creative. Come up with something for your fat guys. I'm just saying, get your big guys some love in the season, because all the divas like me, look, we need the big dudes coming in and do work. Right? I can't dance if my big dudes ain't fighting. That's just the deal. So tell me that the important stuff matters. We were talking about Brett Bielema earlier. You know why Bielema lands? Because he's a big dude. He walks like a big dude, talks like a big dude, coaches like a big dude. He understands the importance. Get off the bus, show size and pride, and then we can talk. All right? That's what I'm talking about. We're going to go to break. We'll come back. Anthony Lionheart-Smith is in studio. I'm going to ask him about this. We talked about physicality. Is it a skill? Is it a talent? Can it be learned? And if you tell me that every fighter in the UFC is tough, I'm going to believe you. But the level of tough and the things that they're tough about are different. They're different. We're going to talk football. I'm going to get him. We got the coach's quotes. We're going to give them to Anthony Lionheart-Smith and let him break it down for you. I'm just going to say it's going to be a good 12 o'clock hour here on The Ticket. We'll be right back. 12 o'clock, Lincoln.
If one of the things running through your mind as a business owner is the recurring worry of possible cyber attacks, you can let out a sigh of relief. Hamilton Business Technologies has you covered. As the official business IT partner of the Huskers, we offer real-time threat monitoring, advanced security protocols, and more to keep your data safe from harm. We care about the success of Nebraska businesses and communities like yours. Learn how we can help you at HamiltonIsBusiness.com.
Looking to upgrade your hay equipment this season? Landmark Implement has a lineup of pre-owned balers and windrowers ready to go to work. In the race against time, make sure your hay equipment is up to the task. When you buy used hay equipment from Landmark, you're backed by our extensive parts and service network, complete with mobile techs and parts drop-off points to keep you in the field. Shop all used hay equipment online at landmarkimp.com or stop by your local Landmark to experience the Landmark difference.
There's a lot on the line in divorce. This is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell, the largest family law firm in the country, with over 35 years of helping clients navigate divorce. But being big doesn't mean less personal or less local. Our attorneys live and work in your community, and as neighbors, they understand the challenges your families face. Divorce is complicated. It affects every part of your life, your home, savings, retirement, and of course, kids. So when you find yourself facing divorce and the unexpected directions that it can take, it's times like this that you need a partner you can count on.
If you're a man facing divorce, contact Cordell & Cordell today to connect with a local divorce attorney who understands the challenges you're facing on a personal level. Text GO99 to 32 32 32. GO99 to 32 32 32. GO99 to 32 32 32. 1221 N Street, Lincoln. Texting privacy policy and terms and conditions posted at textingterms.us. Texting enrolls you for recurring automated text marketing messages. Message and data rates may apply. Reply, stop to opt out.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet. KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Advanced Medical Imaging is the largest radiology group in Nebraska, located in Lincoln at 7601 Pioneers Boulevard. At Advanced Medical Imaging, they utilize state-of-the-art technology and blend it together with their compassionate, skilled team to guide you through every step. Whether it's an MRI, CT scan, or X-ray, their precise diagnostics help your doctor deliver the best care plan for you. Choose clarity and comfort in your life by choosing Advanced Medical Imaging, located at 7601 Pioneers Boulevard and online at amimaging.com.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Infrastructure, a veteran-owned local company proudly serving Lincoln, Lancaster County, and the surrounding areas. Bauer provides quality work at an affordable price, and they're growing rapidly. If you want to experience a career with a fast-paced, family-friendly environment, visit BauerInfrastructure.com. They have top-of-the-line benefits, year-round work, even through the winter. Bauer, usher in the new era of infrastructure to an area near you. And as always, go Big Red!
When it comes to concrete, Stevens & Smith Construction doesn't stall. They go for the takedown. As Nebraska's full-service concrete contractor, they stay in bounds, hold inside position, and never forfeit quality. Whether it's foundations, flatwork, or concrete coatings, they elevate performance and pin down results that win every time. Stevens & Smith Construction is a proud sponsor of Takedown Tuesdays on 93.7 The Ticket. Because when it's time to wrestle with concrete, Stevens & Smith Construction slams expectations.
Rain, snow, or shine, John Henry's is here to keep your home's plumbing systems working properly no matter what kind of weather Nebraska throws at us. From unclogging toilets and drains to installing new water heaters and water treatment systems, John Henry's is your plumbing expert in the Lincoln and Omaha communities. Visit us at calljh.com or call John Henry's.
435-5555. John Henry's Plumbing, Heating and Air.
And electrical.
There are great Mexican restaurants all over town, but there is one that is especially worth the drive from any part of town. Tacos Los Hermanos at 70th and Havelock. Cool off this summer with a delicious horchata or other special drinks, and grab one of their famous taco boxes for a group of friends or coworkers to enjoy, full of birria tacos and many other options. Don't forget their great desserts like tres leches, flan, and cheesecake. Get to Tacos Los Hermanos for lunch or dinner today at 70th and Havelock in Lincoln. Rosie's Sports Bar and Grill, open for lunch and dinner at 1501 Center Park Road, just south of 14th and Highway 2.
It's time to go one-on-one with DP. Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Here is your host, Derek Pearson, brought to you by Canopy Street Market.
Boom. In your face. In your face! It's noon. 12:03 Lincoln time. You can be a part of what we're doing. The Starter Heyman text line. 402-464-5685. If you want to text in and be a part of the show, and you can, and you do. We know you do. It's cool.
You might as well.
You might as well come join us. You can follow on all the live video streams, Facebook, YouTube, X, Allo Channel 961. See the faces to go with the voices so you know who's talking to you. Download the Ticket app. Take us wherever you go, because then you don't worry about the signal. It's on your phone. It's on your phone. It's in your car. It's on your laptop. Do that. Goes everywhere. Never fades. Never goes out. Promise you. It's the thing. Before we get into the full hour of conversation, Bach, let them know who makes this happen.
Yeah, it is the noon hour, and that means it is lunchtime. The lunchtime at 93.7. The Ticket is sponsored by our friends at Mulberry Barbecue, now with 2 locations at 11th and Cornhusker and at 61st and Apples Way, right off Highway 2 by Lowe's. Both locations are open Monday through Saturday from 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. Try their burnt-in sandwich, a brisket burrito, barbecue nachos, a full slab of ribs, a half-smoked chicken, and much, much more. Plus their incredible sides. Get fueled for lunch today or make dinner plans at Mulberry Barbecue. Again, located at 11th in Cornhusker and at 61st in Apples Way, just off Highway 2 by Lowe's.
We're going to settle some debates in this first segment. I'm going to bring in the one and only Bach. Get your fingers ready now.
Uh-oh.
Get your fingers ready now. We've loaded some stuff in the system for this. I'm going to ask this young man a question because we need answers. But if you take brisket or pulled pork or sliced turkey, and you put it on a baked potato with sour cream, cheese, green onions, sweet barbecue sauce. My question to you, is that a meal? Is that an entree? Or is that just a filler? But we need to ask somebody. We need to ask a high-level elite eater. We need somebody to consume this. But before we bring him in, Bach, give me something that lets the people know who this fine young man. Come on. You got it? You ready?
It'll take a second here.
It'll say, I know you. I'm giving you the lead up, man. Right? Set the table. We're going inside the octagon for the next hour. Rage outside of the cage, all the things that we're talking about. Bach?
Still a second here. Keep leading me up here.
Listen to this. Listen to this, Bach. I'm just gonna let it air out, man, because I need this from you. I have to keep Bach on his toes.
You're gonna have to.
I have to keep Bach on his toes. There we go.
Oh, that's tight. That's tight. Oh, he tapped. He tapped, and he Lionheart Smith. Got to be careful with your neck there. Submits Vitor Petrino in round 1. Told you got to watch that neck. Anthony Smith told you there are levels to this game. Wow. He went out there and proved it.
It is so funny to me that you get a look whenever Daniel Cormier's voice comes across. You get a look on your face. Your eyes change
because I can remember where I was.
Yeah,
I remember exactly where I was. I remember how I felt. I remember what I was thinking while he was talking.
Yeah.
It's just a moment in time.
Right. That if you go to that place and when you lock it in, and then is it me, or are you holding your breath? Or does your breathing change at all when you lock it in and you just wait? You know you have it, and you're waiting for the tap.
I slow my breathing down in that moment because I have to take really deep breaths. This is really inside
this is why
inside baseball here. But when you have a choke like that, the idea is that you need to close down as much space as you possibly can to finish it. So I have pretty long arms anyways.
Yeah.
So it's hard for me to close that space down. So once I got the choke in, if I expand my chest, it takes away more space for him to breathe. So my body is blocking off one side of his ability to breathe and the blood going to his brain. So as soon as I lock it, I have to take really, really slow breaths because I'm trying to expand my chest as wide as I can get it to close down the space on his neck.
And there's also the factor of not trying to burn out your arms, right?
Oh, no. That doesn't exist in my world. In every facet of my life, for the entire 37 years I've been on this earth, my philosophy has been to send it. You put your foot to the floor and you don't lift until you see a checkered flag or Jesus.
He's just like, and the tap is it. Here's what I know about you too. You're not an immediate release guy.
No, it's not on purpose. It's not on purpose. It's not on purpose. Because
I want you to understand. You can go and watch Anthony when he's finishing somebody. There's a thing that happens, right? That his aura changes, and then he gets the tap, and it's like, but wait, there's more.
No, I'm just dug in like a tick. I'm dug in like a tick. It's going to take more than that. A lot. And to be fair, I think I've gotten a lot of grief. I think, especially when I was younger, you hit someone with a big shot and they go down. From the outside, they're very clearly out. That's an unconscious man. But I don't see it like that. So I'm trying to get to him to finish before he potentially wakes up and we have to keep doing this. So it's actually fear. Like it comes off like arrogance, and I'm trying to just get another one or two before that, before the referee can get there because I'm being a jerk.
Yeah.
It's not his fear. I'm afraid that he's going to wake up before the referee stops it. So you just try to get to him as fast as possible.
Have you done the science to know how hard you have to hit somebody? Like, what is that?
It's not a lot.
That pressure per pound.
Yeah, I don't know exactly what that number is, but it's a lot smaller than you would think.
Do you go to those when you see those machines those punch machines that measure?
Never.
Like you've never?
No, no. That's a big attention draw right there.
I say that and people get mad at me. I said there are things that are drawn for the UFC mark, but for the fan who's just really going to buy in all the way. They're looking for another reason. They do it in WWE. They do it with the pressure, the grip pressure, right? To see what kind of hand pressure you can generate in it and the science behind it. But you've never knocked somebody out and not know I got him. Like you landed the punch and went.
It's like a home run. Like you can feel it when it hits the sweet spot on the bat. You know that ball is gone.
Yeah.
It's kind of the same thing with a punch. Like you can feel it. Like when I hit Shogun when I was in Germany and I hit him with that nasty right hand, I was a bit unsure because it was really like thudding and he kind of absorbed a lot of it. And it kind of hurt I remember it hurting my elbow because it was such a hard shot. But that doesn't necessarily always mean it's a clean shot.
Mm-hmm.
It means he kind of absorbed it and didn't really move. And so I didn't realize for a few seconds that he was actually hurt until he actually rolled his ankle. He was trying to stay up and he rolled his ankle. And I realized he was hurt. But like when I don't know, Elvis Mutachik, it felt like I missed. Like it's just a tiny bit of resistance.
From the baseball side, we always say that you hitting a home run makes you feel like almost you feel nothing.
Yeah.
Like you feel
that's
nothing.
what I meant. Like
that's how clean it is. You just went.
Like I missed.
Oh, that thing just went off, and then you go, and there's the sound.
Oh yeah.
There's the sound, and listen, for those that have never been at a live UFC event, the sounds of a live UFC event are unlike anything that I've ever been a part of.
One time I was at the Apex, and it was probably two guys. I'm going to say these two names, and I bet unless you're a hardcore, you're not going to know who they are. It was Tanner Bozer fighting Alir Latifi. They're both 205ers that moved up to heavyweight, so they were soft. And I was just sitting cage side, sitting next to Bisping, and it was like two cars would back up and then ram each other, and then they would back up again, and the impacts of those two guys coming together for 15 minutes was one of the most disgusting things I've ever been a part of. I couldn't believe it. And so I'm saying that like to Bisping after the fight, like, what in the hell was that?
Right.
He goes, that's what it's like every time you fight. I was like, man, it doesn't feel like it when you're in there.
I told the story on air. I forget which card it was. I want to say it was Orlando, and I was right next to the octagon, and it was the first time that. Oh no, it was Roundtree. It was Khalil Roundtree.
Yeah,
and it was a war. It was a beatdown, but the blood spatter on my blazer took me a minute to kind of.
Oh yeah.
I had to have a conversation with myself. Bach, the person sitting next to me is also media, and they're looking at my blazer, and they're just kind of giving me the dog sideways head tilt of, hey, bro, you might need to go clean that
you need
up.
a Tide wipe, dog.
Right, you need to. And it was a black blazer. Fresh blood is a different deal. And
depends on who you are.
Hey man, I listen. Your bloodthirst is real, though, right? The fighter.
So I've done a lot of things over my time in the broadcasting on the broadcasting side of things to try to humanize us a little bit.
Yeah.
Because conversations like this make it hard. It's because
you're barely human, bro.
There is a very distinct. Okay, I'm going to start this off. Fighting is in everybody's DNA. It's instinctual.
Okay.
I think I said this a couple weeks ago that if we're walking through a grocery store and a fight breaks out and there's a 80-year-old lady that's in there, she's going to clutch her pearls and scream and holler about it, but she's not going to look away. She's not going to look away. People
She wants to know.
People are drawn to it.
She wants to know
who gets the bone.
Yep.
Who's going to win? Who's better? And I don't think that that's an active thought that goes through people's head, but it's just an instinctual thing you're going to watch. Another part of those instincts it's this fight or flight mentality kind of. So once you're in there and the cage door's shut, you're a different person. I'm not the dad that's hanging out with my kids. I'm a totally different person when I'm in there. But the smell, this is the part that makes it tough to like when I'm humanizing this. The smell of blood is different. And it turns on like a fear mechanism because you're not used to smelling that. It's an odd smell. It's like a very metallic smell to it. And it does put you in that fight or flight mentality where you kind of just shut off the rest of the world.
Your ability to define those moments from the analyst side of it's part of the charm, right? That Anthony will go into the corner of the octagon that a lot of people won't go, can't go because they're not willing to expose that part of themselves and say, listen, I'm here as the analyst to expose you to parts of it that you're curious about or maybe had never even thought about.
Right.
And I think the transition of that for me is taking it to other sports. We were talking about the physicality of is it a skill? Is it trainable? Can you get better at your toughness? How would you define toughness? Because Nebraska football, we're talking about, they don't have the big 330-pound defensive lineman this year. They don't have the big monstrosities up front. So if you're more athletic, you have to do something. The toughness will come into play because friction happens. So how do you define toughness? And is it different in fighting versus football?
I don't believe it's that much different. It's just a different type of physicality for sure, different type of toughness. I don't know if this is going to ruffle feathers, but if I'm just being very honest, people in general are just less tough these days than they used to be. I'm as big of a fan of the NIL deals and these players being paid and being taken care of and being able to have rights to their marketing, and because the NCAA has made a gajillion dollars off the back of players in college at the Division I level, at any level, I guess. But so I've always believed that the players that they deserve that, and I will foster that, and I will support them as much as I possibly can. But it does at times tend to maybe diminish some of that toughness a little bit. Easy times don't necessarily always create really tough people. So you're talking about wanting defensive linemen that are coming off of Western Nebraska farms that are hungry, and their backup plan is to end up back where they grew up to continue to do the farming thing, which is an incredible life. I'm not saying anything about it, negative about it, but these guys are hungry, or at least they were. They were hungry. They were grinding. They were fighting every single day for maybe just an opportunity to find themselves in the league and create a different life for themselves. A lot of these guys are playing way later in college and staying a lot longer because they're making more money in college than they're going to make if they get drafted. So I will say that the more money you have doesn't necessarily mean the better the athletes are going to be or the tougher they're going to be. They might be better athletes, but they're not going to be any tougher. So I think that's part of it. I think some of it is just learned, or some of it is just how you're born, not necessarily learned. Some people are just born different, and you can tell right away when you meet them. I met Derek Wolfe, defensive lineman for the Broncos forever, right? I met Derek Wolfe in Denver, and his eyes are just different. That's a rich man, but you wouldn't know it by talking to him or how he conducts himself around people. He's just different. His brain works different. His mind is. You can just look in his eyes and say that guy's lucky he found football. Like there's not as many of those these days. Von Miller's kind of the same. Vaughn is just different. He doesn't care about, of course, everyone wants the money, but that's not his focus. He doesn't even necessarily care about winning. Until the end of his career, Von Miller never cared about winning. He wanted to be physical and hit people and get to the ball carrier. That was it. that was it.
Like there's a part, John Thompson used to say this, that he identified players by this principle, that if they were fighting on a cliff, there are those that fight as though their back is to a cliff. Then there are those that know there's a mattress at the bottom of the cliff.
Right.
One fights like there is no mattress
Mhm.
because there isn't, and the other one fights like there is a mattress because there is. And that was the difference in his toughness. He wanted players who understood the difference. Now, I'll ask you this because we talked about Bud Crawford, and I think
that's a different type of mentality.
That's right.
Different. That's different. You can spend 5 minutes around him and not have any idea what he is, what he does, who he is, how great he is. If you know nothing about Terrence Crawford, just a random stranger, you spend 5 minutes with him, you'll immediately say, that guy's different.
What's the difference? What do you think it is?
It's an edge. There's an edge to it. There's a sense of confidence, like a quiet, humble confidence that it's hard to even put a description to. Like that guy knows he's the absolute best. And you may not even know what it is at. But if a stranger meets that guy, like I don't know what that guy does, but he's great at something. And it's different. It's different. And every high performer like that, you've spent a little time around DC.
Mm-hmm.
He's kind of a clown, kind of a goofball
until
he's having a serious conversation. Ooh, there it is. There it is.
There you go.
It's different.
There's the predator.
Yeah,
There's
Bisping's the same way. Bisping's the same way. Like his comes off a little more arrogant maybe than some people's.
He and Kale both have a little bit.
Kale's the same way,
right?
It's different,
right? That's
different.
They let you know that. Listen, I have this suit on. I have on this several $1,000 suit. But if I take this tie off,
right, there'll be some furniture moving.
It's gonna be a different deal.
It's even the way that they like. You can watch Chael Sonnen walk. It's not a swag. He's not looking super cool. You can watch that guy walk down the street and say that guy's important. There's just an aura. It's different.
I try to tell. We call it athletic arrogance. Was a term that Joe Gibbs used, and that identifying that when he does combines and before he knows who the player is in his heart, the athletic arrogance will tell him that he has confidence in things that Joe Gibbs hasn't seen yet. Right? That he's been in spaces that's there. I was asked to ask this of you, so I'll ask you: how good would Bud Crawford be in the UFC?
He'd have been a world champion. No questions asked. No questions asked. No, I have zero doubt. Zero doubt. Because the guy can wrestle. He's got nationally ranked children that wrestle. I've watched him with guys that have fought in the UFC just wrestling around being funny. He's not getting smoked. Now the jiu-jitsu part of it's that's a different deal. The grappling and that part of it's different. But if he was 10 years younger and you could develop that part of his game at 135 pounds, 145 pounds, you're going to beat that guy.
Like there's nobody in weight class that's taking that right hand. Like it's just
nobody.
Like
He's just different. And that's the thing. Some of these guys, Terrence Crawford would be a world champion at anything. If it was 20 years ago and he chose tennis, he'd have been the best tennis player. It's not all just physically. Of course, he's an extremely gifted athlete, but a lot of it's his work ethic, his mentality, his mindset when it comes to growth, just different.
It is fascinating, right? That the crossover, the thing that connects. You were talking about Coach Rule and how he talks about the game, and there's a level of confidence that has to be spoken,
right?
Especially when you're leading. When you're leading, when we talk about Coach Rule and how he's leading this football team, what do you see that makes the Husker fan who's listening? It will give them confidence. What things are we listening for from Matt Rule?
I picked up on this a little bit more the other day. I was listening to something from him, and there's such a it's hard to explain. There's such a fine line between being a dictator and someone who's just ruling over them. You got to do this. You got to be here. You got to that's different. That's different. And not all people, some people react to that really well. You get a lot out of people like that.
Yep.
Generally, it's not the case though.
Right.
Generally, people, then you just have a boss. Nobody likes having a boss. So if you can make the people around you feel like I'm not leading you. We're doing this together. I'm just the one with the ideas. That's the vibe that I get from Coach Roll. Is this isn't me telling, like, from his point of view, his perspective, it's not me telling you this is what you have to do so that we can be successful. Because those things don't sound great when you're an athlete. I'm telling you this is what you need to do so that we can be successful. That doesn't sound like an exchange of confidence here. This is me saying, if you mess this up, we all fail. Nobody likes hearing that. But if I'm telling you guys, here's what we need to do as a team, I'm going to go down this road with you. And we all have our different roles. The kickers kick, the receivers catch the ball, the quarter, like everyone has their positions. As a coach, this is just my position on the team. This isn't me coaching you guys through this process. I'm going through it with you, but I'll be the first one. I'll walk through the fire first as long as you guys follow me. And that's the difference. That it's a family. Like, he has a very family vibe to it. Even when he talks, it's not like, well, the team does this and the team does, we do this and we do that. And these guys aren't taking naps and eating lunch and taking all this time off in between practices and meetings. Like, we're focused on recovery. Like, it's a we thing. It makes a big difference. And as an athlete, a lot of times we're just big, dumb meatheads. And if you can convince us or show us that you're in it with us, we kind of just get, well, okay, coach, whatever you want to do, I'll just do it. Like, through the wall. And that's all you need. Like, as long as I know that you care as much as I care, and that's just the vibe I get from Coach Roll. Even at the WWE, like, he's there with the players, like, fist bumping and having a good time. But it was very clear in that group of people who the leader is.
And they know he went through it.
Right.
They know you know what? I'm going to ride with you through this whole thing. We're going to ride through it together.
Right.
It's special. We're going to go to break. Before we go to break, though, we're going to resolve a thing once and for all. Right? Eric has texted in and he asked, can you please ask Anthony if GSP is the GOAT? Anthony Smith, what say you?
Right now?
Yes, sir.
Right. No, he's not. As much as I would love, Eric, I'm sorry. As much as I would love to listen, it doesn't make me feel good to have to tell you that John Jones is the greatest of all time. I don't have to like it. You don't have to like it either. We don't have to like him. But GSP, although an incredible athlete, although incredibly successful, numbers don't lie. John Jones has more title fights. He's beat 3 different eras of fighters, the ones that came before him, the ones that were in his era, and the ones that came after him. And now he's going back through and doing it again. If you look at the strength of schedule, John Jones has beat the who's who of 205 pounders. Obviously moved up to heavyweight, beat the greatest heavyweight of all time. He beat no less than 5 or 6 Hall of Famers, probably 10 former or future world champions. There's just no comparison. And I don't like him either. I think GSP is a way better person. He's way more likable. He's better for the community. He's better for the industry. He's better for who you want your kids to look up to and be like. The answer to all those questions is GSP 100% of the time. Who's the greatest fighter of all time in terms of their accomplishments? It's John Jones. Who's the most skilled mixed martial artist of all time? Hands down, no question, Demetrius Johnson.
Mighty Mouse. Love it. More Anthony Lionheart Smith when we come back to the ticket.
Watch live on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. You're listening to One on One with DP on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
When it comes to concrete, Stevens & Smith Construction doesn't stall. They go for the takedown. As Nebraska's full-service concrete contractor, they stay in bounds, hold inside position, and never forfeit quality. Whether it's foundations, flatwork, or concrete coatings, they elevate performance and pin down results that win every time. Stevens & Smith Construction is a proud sponsor of Takedown Tuesdays on 93.7 The Ticket. Because when it's time to wrestle with concrete, Stevens & Smith Construction slams expectations.
We interrupt this commercial break for an important story.
There once was a man from Nebraska who went searching for food in Alaska. When his stomach was rumbling while laying in bed, he could think of only one option, Fuhrer's cheese spread. So he left at once and drove day and night to return back home for cheese spread delight. Now his stomach is full and the voice in his head tells him no more vacations without Fuhrer's cheese spread. Find yours today at most local grocers.
Attention all Wings fans, Buffalo Wings and Rings has daily specials that will make you want to stop in on all days of the week. Kids eat free on Mondays, and on Tuesdays enjoy 40% off boneless or traditional wings at a price that makes the whole family happy. And come back on Wednesdays for $1.39 chicken tenders all day long. Get to Wings and Rings today, 68th and O or in Williamsburg Village.
This is James Harrell with NP Dodge Real Estate. When I became a licensed realtor, I wanted a brokerage that would help me grow in my new career. I found that in Lincoln First Realty. When Lincoln First was acquired by NP Dodge, the training and support I received only got better. I love knowing I have the power of the NP Dodge brand behind me. I would recommend NP Dodge to new agents looking to jumpstart their real estate career and to current agents who want to take their business to the next level.
Expand your career with NP Dodge. Call Eric at 402-434-2222.
Rain, snow, or shine, John Henry's is here to keep your home's plumbing systems working properly no matter what kind of weather Nebraska throws at us. From unclogging toilets and drains to installing new water heaters and water treatment systems, John Henry's is your plumbing expert in the Lincoln and Omaha communities. Visit us at calljh.com or call
John Henry's.
435-5555. John Henry's Plumbing, Heating and Air.
And electrical.
Looking to upgrade your hay equipment this season? Landmark Implement has a lineup of pre-owned balers and windrowers ready to go to work. In the race against time, make sure your hay equipment is up to the task. When you buy used hay equipment from Landmark, you're backed by our extensive parts and service network, complete with mobile techs and parts drop-off points to keep you in the field. Shop all used hay equipment online at landmarkimp.com or stop by your local Landmark to experience the Landmark difference.
Are you looking for an exciting new way to put your skills to work? Explore new career options in the fintech industry at Currency, a Sandhills global company. We offer full-time positions in financial sales, compliance, operations, and other fields. We also offer a 4.5-day work week, an attractive benefits package, and opportunities for advancement. Put your motivation to work and grow with us at Currency. Visit gocurrency.com/careers to learn more.
If the power is out, keep your fridge and freezer closed. Perishable food lasts 4 hours in the fridge, and frozen food lasts up to 2 days if it stays below 40 degrees. See more tips at les.com/safety.
Batter up! Join us this summer at Haymarket Park for 50 action-packed Salt Dogs games running now through August. Visit saltdogs.com for updates on everything you need to know about weekly promotions, giveaways, and special events. That's where you'll find the latest updates to make sure you catch all the excitement and never miss a homestand you want to attend. Haymarket Park is your ticket to fun all summer long. Visit saltdogs.com to get your tickets and unleash the fun.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Infrastructure, a veteran-owned local company proudly serving Lincoln, Lancaster County, and the surrounding areas. Bauer provides quality work at an affordable price, and they're growing rapidly. If you want to experience a career with a fast-paced, family-friendly environment, visit BauerInfrastructure.com. They have top-of-the-line benefits, year-round work, even through the winter. Bauer, usher in the new era of infrastructure to an area near you. And as always, go Big Red!
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
Your Lincoln forecast for today, a chance of showers and storms this morning, and nearly sunny and breezy, the high around 91. Tonight, a slight chance of showers and storms, otherwise partly cloudy, the low around 72. And tomorrow, we'll see mainly sunny skies with a light breeze. It'll be hot with a high near 94. I'm meteorologist Kyle Flecker for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
You're listening to One-on-One with DP, sponsored by Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Uh-oh, who's the DJ?
That's it, man. Sometimes you got to send a message. Sometimes. Bach is getting more informed. the more he hangs out on one-on-one, he gets every now and again. I give him one. Him and Harrison. I have to take Austin. I have to take them back outside of Lincoln.
There we go.
You got to take them outside of Lincoln. Let them know what it is. Bach, we have another sponsor. I know you're all fired up over there. Please let them know who makes this happen.
Yeah, hour 2 here is sponsored by Schwezo Construction, where safety isn't just a policy, it's a promise. Schwezo has hired skilled craftsmen, laborers, concrete workers, and steel erectors who value quality work in a team that has your back on and off the job site. Apply today at Schwezo.com. 40 years strong in business. Schwezo Construction.
Appreciate them for what they do. And as we say from the text line, it says, well, Jones is a doper and a cheater.
Agreed.
See, I didn't have to tell him the alley-oop was coming.
Agreed. And that is the argument. But let's just are we getting real?
We're getting real. Bach has the dump button. He's prepared.
I'd say
he's ready.
50%, 60, 70% of the people that John Jones beat were also not clean. That was earlier on. A lot of those guys were early on in his career. That was pre-USADA. I'm not going to point any fingers directly because a lot of them haven't been caught. But I can assure you that I was in those rooms. I've been in those gyms. I've heard those conversations. The vast majority of those guys especially early on in his career, were all doping. John was just an idiot and got caught. So it was at that point in time, it was an IQ test. It was less about being a performance enhancing drug test. I
love how you just said that. It really is the thing. Are you willing to do the thing just because you can?
Right. And so later on in his career, we've seen those fights get closer as he was clean. I would only tell you is that I know for a fact that John Jones was clean when him and I fought because he was going through that pulsing stuff. He was going through, those things. And so he was extremely overly tested almost daily for months before my fight with him. And he was clean. And I spent 25 minutes in there with him. He's the greatest of all time.
It is simple in the statement that as you evaluate fighters, sometimes it is away from the octagon that factors into it.
It does factor into it.
It is. It factors.
Okay. Think about this. In terms of cycling,
Mhm.
was Lance Armstrong the best to ever do it?
Yes.
Why can't we say that about John?
It's the same conversation,
It's the
same
same
circle.
conversation.
That once science gets involved,
If Lance Armstrong, if nobody doped, the results are exactly the same. That's the Lance Armstrong argument. If everybody was clean, Lance Armstrong wins by a larger margin.
it's the same thing in baseball. But the Barry Bonds, Mark McGwire conversation,
Right.
Roger Clemens, right? That if you're talking about the sport, the same thing happened in the NFL. Whether
Right.
people and how we don't talk about it with the
It
NFL
still happens in the NFL.
is mind blowing. Mind blowing. We don't talk about it in college sports. Like
I don't want to burst anybody's bubble, but athletes in general, if given the opportunity to get ahead, I know that you guys want to say, well, no, not my favorite player, not
Ken Griffey Jr.,
not this guy.
not
If there's an opportunity to get ahead and get an advantage, to win and extend your earning potential, and you don't think you're going to get caught, they're probably going to. There's a small percentage of guys that won't.
and it is a small.
I never did, but it was really same conversation we had last week. I don't really hang out with fighters. I'm not in those circles. I was never really presented with the opportunity. I would have had to have thought about it, made the decision, sought it out, and then done it. A lot of times these guys are just, well, he's doing it just right here. I'll do, like it's more of an opportunistic type of thing when they start. Most people will, though. Most people will.
Yeah, I mean, depending on the sport, and now it's bled its way into the NBA conversation, right? Of saying, well, geez, you're asking people to play 80 plus games, 100 if you count playoffs and preseason.
Their tests are random.
Yeah, bigger, stronger, faster.
Random. They know when they're coming. They know who's getting tested. But it's not. I would say the UFC is the cleanest sport. By far.
And the fact that
By
the
far.
science is always ahead of the testing.
Yes. It's the tests are always chasing the smarter people because there's more money. If you're a biologist or some crazy smart kid in college, what do you want when you get out of college? You want money? Of course you do. You got a whole lot of student loans to pay off. The money is in beating the test, not in creating it. Because now you're working for universities, you're working for the government, essentially.
I love that you just said that.
It's a government job.
I love that you just said that.
Or you can get 5 or 6 NFL players to just put you on salary. You make, I don't know, $500,000 a year and make sure that they're getting whatever they need and they're passing their tests. Or you can make 95 and work at UCLA and create a test chasing those guys that you were also in school with and know the exact same thing that you know.
And the fact
what are you
that
going to do?
Each sport has its own specialty that they check.
For sure.
Right? That it's not the same. It's literally not the same. That's how creatine got into the system and moved around it because it was focused and sent. It's when it flipped sports that it became the conversation point. You go, well, wait a minute. And then the same thing's in play because as it starts to bleed from men to women.
Right.
Now that women in sports are now addressing it and now the testing because they spent the lion's share of testing randomness towards men in sports. The big titles, the big names, the big events.
Right.
And then they realized as women's events became more known, more important, and otherwise, well, wait a minute. We need to test the women the same level we do the men. And it's WNBA, it's UFC. Remember, UFC said, Dana said, listen, this is not a space we're going to go into. Well, the testing was behind it.
Right.
In the women. And the women, the science behind women fighters is that it's more difficult. The science has more value on the women's side.
Right. Right. Here's where I get frustrated is where you get all these people that are, they're just, I don't know. They're putting some of these guys on pedestals and us as athletes, again, I'm not going to point any fingers, but you start seeing these athletes that are competing deep into their 30s and 40s. And you're like, no way, bro. There's no way. There's no way you're doing that on regular air. It's impossible. And again, I'm not pointing fingers because I don't
everybody goes, you go right into the space in your mind.
Right. Everyone knows. Everyone knows who's bouncing the ball way later than he should be.
Yep.
There's no way. There's no way.
Bach.
There's no way. It's impossible. It's impossible. Humans aren't built like that. There's not a person on earth that's genetically gifted enough to be able to play that many games at that level for that many years into their 40s on regular air. It's not possible. I tried. I genuinely tried from 17 to 37. I made it 20 years. And I'm probably about 4 or 5 years past when I should have. It's just it doesn't work like that.
Well, you had a neck that was telling you, hey man.
Right. Well, I had a neck and some knees and some hands and elbows and shoulders and feet and
how many surgeries have you had and how many will you have to have?
Oh man, I've had probably 15 already. And I got maybe 3 or 4 left.
That you know of, right? That are
on
deck.
That are on deck. Yeah.
Right. And these are these reconstructive or just to fix?
So it's a little bit of both.
Right. To go through and to be able to choose how you're going to go through this.
Yeah, I'm just trying to get back to normal.
You were never normal, bro.
Physically.
You were never normal.
I'd like to be able to walk in a room without you hearing me first.
You and me both, man.
Saying
that is a thing. Anthony Lionheart Smith is with us, and Big B says this, and I love the point. He says, what if you were to allow people to dope to certain levels or percentages? How do you think that would look?
Well, we tried that. We tried that one time. It's a fair question. Back in the day, they used to give these things athletic commissions before USADA came in and took over the drug testing, and now it's drug-free sport that tests the UFC fighters. The athletic commissions kind of handled it all, and that's where it came in to be like an IQ test, where it was, you just had to be clean that day. The tests weren't super invasive. They weren't really expensive and high. They just weren't great tests.
Yeah.
So, you used to be able to apply for a TUE, which is a therapeutic use exemption. And so guys, Dan Henderson had one, Frank Mir had one, Randy Couture, like a lot of these guys.
This is a much deeper issue.
This is deep. This is deep. This is deep because they could apply for those TUEs for like testosterone replacement therapy because they were all aging fighters, had low T levels. Well, then what happens? Then a feller by the name of Vitor Belfort comes in, gets himself a TUE, and he takes his levels way past what's therapeutic. He's crushing like 2,000 level, like on his test.
That's
like,
a crazy story, by the way.
It's crazy. So he gets an exemption and he just manipulates his levels. So when it's time for him to test, he's able to manipulate his levels back down to within range and then just gasses himself up on diesel fuel. And then by the time he gets into the fight, if you guys want to have a little bit of fun, Google Vitor Belfort before and after, or Google TRT Vitor and regular Vitor now. Well, now he looks good because he's not competing and he's just juiced up again. But it was night and day. The TRT era in mixed martial arts is a place in history where you've seen actual people change completely what they look like. Like you got guys like Vitor that were just shredded, veins across his abs, hyper aggressive, just that guy would go head on with a rhinoceros. Like just, he was a different person. USADA comes in and then Vitor Belfort starts looking like a melting ice cream cone. It's totally different. He looked like a completely different person. So we did try and people abused it. So they took it away completely.
And some of
to
it,
answer your question.
right. And yeah, but that's why they ask. And in some of those cases, it is the geographical location and culture that the fighters come from.
That's the other issue. Like in Russia and Brazil, you can just walk down to the pharmacy and get testosterone and estrogen blockers and tren, and like you can just walk down to the
corner
pharmacy,
store,
the
man.
corner store,
They
and get
will
it.
hook you up.
And historically, I think probably everyone knows this story. Russia's not above cheating. They're not above cheating. So what happens is that Russia and like other countries are different. So here in the United States, athletes are definitely propped up and held up as figures. But in other countries, specifically Russia, athletes are gods. So they're supported by the government. These people never work. They never have jobs. The government gives them these huge mansions. They give them Mercedes and all these nice cars to drive. And the government will fund their performance enhancing properties
because it's more important for them to beat those other countries.
It's more important for them to win than to be fair. So, I mean, there's that long, there was that long story about the USADA guys, and then Russia created that tunnel and they were taking the bottles out and then cracking the lids and replacing it with clean urine. I mean, it's a whole thing. It's documented. So,
Bach, seriously, this would be an entire 2-hour show
for sure,
just on testing, because I've said it 100 times on air here. When I go to weigh-ins and see how the bodies are being manipulated and how this stuff works on the final few days before a fight, it is the most humbling, mind-shaking thing that I experience in the course of a year. Is Friday night, Thursday night, and Friday morning weigh-ins.
Mm-hmm.
It from every perspective, it's eyeball changing. We'll throw it to break. Come back. We'll close that with Anthony Lionheart-Smith. Get you all set for Bach and the Hall of Fame black shirt here on The Ticket.
Download our app by searching 93.7 The Ticket in your app store. You're listening to One-on-One with DP on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
This is James Harrell with NP Dodge Real Estate. When I became a licensed realtor, I wanted a brokerage that would help me grow in my new career. I found that in Lincoln First Realty. When Lincoln First was acquired by NP Dodge, the training and support I received only got better. I love knowing I have the power of the NP Dodge brand behind me. I would recommend NP Dodge to new agents looking to jumpstart their real estate career and to current agents who want to take their business to the next level.
Expand your career with NP Dodge. Call Eric at 402-434-2222.
Saturday. Eagle Raceway is open for a full season of dirt track racing action every Saturday night. Don't miss the epic battles on the high banks of Eagle Raceway each Saturday between the Nebraska Septic Sprint Cars, Nebraska Lottery Modifieds, Avid Realty Sport Mods, Valentino's Hobby Stocks, and A1 Iron Stock Cars. Let's go racing. Eagle Raceway, just 10 miles east of Lincoln on O Street. Check out the full schedule at eagleraceway.com.
Ryan, with all this red and all these people around, I'm still not seeing the tailgate.
Todd Spidell, former body shop owner, terrible driver.
We're getting close. Now, did you know with 3 locations in Lincoln and hundreds of years of combined technician experience, we can get Husker fans back on the road even quicker and safer after their tailgate mishaps? Oh, Todd, turn left right here.
Left or right?
Left, right here.
Right?
Well, you wait for the tow truck. I'm getting a hot dog.
Well, I guess while I'm waiting. All right! Most recommended! Eustace Body Shop!
Woohoo! Dude, you should be on American Idol.
You really think so?
No.
Accidents happen, even to Husker fans. If it happens to you, call Eustace Body Shop, where our customers send their friends.
The most recommended Eustace Body Shop. That's who we are.
Midwest Bank is proud to serve Nebraska communities for over 70 years. We're a community bank making local decisions, supporting community organizations, and helping businesses succeed with 10 locations throughout the state from Wisner to Deschler, Norfolk to York, and right here in Lincoln too. Whether you're opening a checking account, buying your first home, in need of an ag loan, or in search of cash management services for your business, we're here for you. Your community, your bank, Midwest Bank. Find out more at midwest.bank. Member FDIC.
Rain, snow, or shine, John Henry's is here to keep your home's plumbing systems working properly no matter what kind of weather Nebraska throws at us. From unclogging toilets and drains to installing new water heaters and water treatment systems, John Henry's is your plumbing expert in the Lincoln and Omaha communities. Visit us at calljh.com or call
John Henry's.
435-5555. John Henry's Plumbing.
and electrical.
At Schwezo Construction, safety isn't just a policy, it's a promise. Build with us. Work safe, go home proud. We're hiring skilled craftsmen, laborers, concrete workers, and steel erectors who value quality work and a team that has your back, on and off the job site. If you're ready to be part of a company where your safety and success come first, visit Schwezo.com. That's SCHWISOW.com and apply today. Schwezo Construction, 40 years strong and still building the future.
Rico here with HIS Auto Care at 70th and Van Dorn, letting you know HIS is a great place to bring your vehicle for service. With superior service, bumper to bumper, we'll treat your vehicle like it's your mother's. Doesn't get any better than that. So call 402-488-8934 and HIS Auto will make you glad you did. 5% off, mention this ad, and for sure your mother will be proud you called. 402-488-8934, HIS Auto Care, 70th and Van Dorn. God bless you.
This is Bill Mitchner, Executive Director of Lincoln Lighthouse. Did you know Lighthouse provides multiple programs for students such as one-on-one tutoring and mentoring, as well as pro-social skill exercises, while providing them a nourishing meal and a safe space during all months of the year, even during school breaks? Learn more or contribute to Lighthouse at lincolnlighthouse.org today.
Rick Heyman here from Sartor Heyman Jewelers. I want to personally thank our great customers for voting us once again the best of Lincoln. At the same time, we're celebrating our 120th year in business in the great state of Nebraska. Visit us at South Point, Grand Island, and the Outlet in downtown Lincoln. Visit us today at sartorheyman.com.
Sartor Heyman Jewelers.
You're listening to One-on-One with DP, brought to you by Canopy Street Market on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
It is spectacular. You know, I'm waiting for a UFC fighter to pull the Ultimate Warrior off in their walkout.
I love the Ultimate Warrior.
Like, I just think that needs to happen. Somebody needs to paint the face, tie up the biceps.
Yeah.
Like, and don't do the walkout.
Just run.
Just sprint to the
and shake the cage.
Yeah. I'm all in. Like, I just need one person to do it. I don't know who it's going to be.
I don't know either.
It'll be iconic. We were talking about it. You got to live a dream, which you got to be a catcher.
I did.
For Power Slap.
I did.
and for folks, explain to people who don't know what power slap is and don't know what a catcher is.
Okay, hear me out, folks. Just give me a second. It's gonna sound crazy, but you got to watch it. So Dana, this power slap thing has been a thing for a long time. I've been a fan of it way before Dana ever started the power slap league and doing its own thing. But so I was watching for a while. But essentially, they take two people, you stand at a thing, one guy holds his hands behind his back, the other guy slaps him, and they just whoever stays up and wins, right? And they changed the rules and they've added some stuff to it or whatever. But so Dana started this power slap league. Well, I was in it already. There's a underground spot like in Branson and the Ozarks, and I've been an underground fan. I just couldn't do it publicly because it wasn't cool. Now it is cool. So the president of the Slap Fight League that Dana White owns knows that I'm a huge fan and asked me if I would come be a catcher, like a guest catcher. Now, a guest catcher is there's two people standing behind the person that's being slapped so that they don't just completely flat back themselves and do more damage. So if they go out after they get slapped, you kind of catch them and ease them to the mat, and then the referee does his thing. And I got to do that, and it was one of the most enjoyable things I've ever done.
This is a guy that's fought in every major arena in the world. But hey, catching somebody who just got their jaw slapped to the next area
great.
code.
And people think these guys are crazy or that there's something wrong with them. They're not. They're terrified. Like with their hands behind their back, I'm standing behind them and I got like the glasses, cameras on, and you can see them trembling. They're terrified.
Like this is
terrifying.
This is and the funny. So I went to the one. I think it was in Vegas, and
the Fontainebleau.
Yes,
yeah.
Yes, which was a weird place for it because it's kind of upscale.
It's the nicest place in the
right,
world.
and then but you're walking through this place where royals would go to stay. But if you keep going to the back, there's a blue room where people are slapping the absolute spit out of each other's mouths. Right, you're just going.
The people that are there is crazy.
Like there's
so like I remember standing there like waiting to catch this person. He gets hit and he stands up and he doesn't fall. And then I look over and it's like there's Travis Scott, Charles Barkley, like Miley Cyrus,
yes,
and like another country music star, and then Jelly Roll's over here,
yeah,
and then there's a bunch of like streamers like that Kai Sanat and like the who's the Happy Dad beer guys? Who are those guys? I got the name of them. It's a bunch of Barstool people, and anyways, it's the wildest.
I went through
people. It's insane.
And at those events, and it's just like UFC. So in those in the media room, and there's a media room, and I'm hanging out there before I'm going to go out to my seat, and they tell me where my seat is, and I'm sitting right behind Jelly Roll. And I mean, right behind. But before we get out there, I'm standing there and wait, like there's two members of the Boston Red Sox.
Oh yeah.
One Boston Celtic.
People are into it.
They're there, and you're reaching in. They have the big stand where drinks are there. You can reach in and grab a soda or a Pepsi or whatever it is. And I reach in at the same time, and Jelly Roll reaches in at the same time. And immediately I humbled myself so much in that moment because it was okay. Don't be that guy. Don't be the guy that says, no, you first. like a part of me was like, no, I need to go in and get my soda. But then it's Jelly Roll. So it's like,
you can get this soda.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, man. And then you're there and he sees it and he's like, no, you go first. And then we did the really dumb thing that we both did.
You go.
No, you go. And I just went, this is the highlight of my weekend.
Yep.
This is it. Hey, we're going to do this again next week, bro.
Yeah.
And then we're going to get this going. We need to come up with a name for it.
We do need a name.
We need a name for
maybe some of the listeners will help us out with the name.
They will help us out.
Right.
Bro. Appreciate you.
My man.
Love you. We'll do that. Don't go anywhere. Bach in the black shirt. We'll take you through to 3 o'clock here on 93.7 The Ticket. See ya.
Hi, my name is Molly Party. I'm a realtor with MP Dodge Real Estate. I'm a newly licensed agent and considered numerous brokerages before